According to the National Film and Video Foundation, the direct and indirect and induced economic impact of the film industry to the South African economy has drastically declined. In the 2019-2020 financial year, their contribution was estimated at 7.2 billion rand and declined to 2.9 billion rand in 2020-2021. This was due to the negative impact of COVID-19. This means that practitioners in the sector have had to think out of the box and come up with creative ways of creating content and also engaging with their clients. This is what entrepreneur and filmmaker Taile Manyanye has done with the use of technology.
Beba dilitaro, beba dilitaro.
Storytelling has been part of our heritage since time immemorial. From a grandmother narrating stories to her grandchildren around the fireplace. Filmmakers have continued with their craft, ensuring that they can reach a wider audience. Now, they are embracing technology to reach new frontiers. The COVID restrictions opened new avenues for content creator Taile Manyanye, who embraced the use of virtual reality technology to transport students from different locations around the province, providing a virtual trip to historical sites. This immersive experience enhances their understanding of various topics and provides more engaging learning experience.
With virtual reality, we can create content that individuals can watch and be immersed in the content. Like, for example, if you are watching content from a site in Taung, you would actually feel like you are actually there. That is what virtual reality does. So this content came about when I looked into what is happening in our museums, and I realized that there isn't a lot of heritage content in our museums, especially the sites themselves. So I had to look into how can I put a heritage site inside a museum.
Keeping such initiatives alive requires cash injection. However, his endeavors to solicit funding from the Department of Arts, Culture, Sports and Recreation has fallen on deaf ears.
The challenge has been that, as interesting as the project is to them, they haven't been able to support me in any way, because I have given them the proposal and they've been sitting with the proposal for 3 years. Even to this date, they haven't responded to say, are they going to be able to assist or not to assist.
Government admits there has been problems in assisting creatives in the province.
Currently, we don't have a funding model for film. We've got a funding model for the creative industry. We've got a funding policy that looks at every aspect of the creative industry, which includes film. We've had a problem of quick response to our clients. It is something that we have, at least by now, we have corrected. Sometimes it is not deliberate not to respond. Sometimes you take time trying to identify where can you source some funding, because especially during the last 2-3 years, our funding, our department got one of the biggest cuts. Almost 50 million rands was cut off, reprioritized, because remember that the industry had basically halted.
The department says it has now moved all funding for projects to the Mabana Foundation as a vehicle of choice for the creative industry, including film. They would like to encourage future prospectors to be on the lookout for calls for proposal soon. Jabu wa Africa, SABC News, Mahikeng.
And as always, we do upload SME on Point on our social media platforms, which is Facebook as well as Instagram, and our handle is at SME on Point. We really do encourage you to reach out to us and tell us about your business. We'd really love to know more about it. Many businesses start off as side hustles and then develop into thriving business entities. This month, the month of March, a All4Youth campaign kicks off. The All4Hustlers seeks to identify, showcase and support young entrepreneurs between the ages of 18 and 30 with a number of resources, including an easily accessible e-guide publication filled with tips and tricks for the aspiring entrepreneur, basic business acumen, and how to be your own boss. Nokolo Mnisi is a senior talent acquisitions and management partner and also a youth lead for Nestle East and Southern Africa. And she joins us via Zoom to tell us how you can develop your side hustle into a thriving business. Nokolo, welcome to SME on Point, and thank you so much for joining us. Perhaps let's start with the culture of side hustling in South Africa. How can you characterize it, or how do you see it? We have a lot of people who start from school level, in fact, by selling sweets to make extra money for lunch or whatever, and that is how it starts. But many of them along the way, they really stop doing this and focus on other things. Tell me about how you see the culture of side hustling in South Africa.
Thank you, and good afternoon. Thank you for having me. It's actually a great question, because part of the reason why we launched the All4Hustlers campaign was exactly, for that challenge. We identified that when young people are a bit younger, there's more opportunity for them to want to start businesses. But as you grow, you either give up on your dreams because of the right kind of support, mostly, and from a helping you build a business point of view. A lot of young people who are hustlers, or rather who are entrepreneurs, most of the time fail not because they don't have the right ideas, but they fail because, they don't really have the right support and showcasing. So the All4Hustlers campaign, like you said, is aimed at, particularly helping identify and hotspot young entrepreneurs who are either, running their own business as side hustles, which is, in the economy of South Africa today, is definitely needed, or those who are, into full-time entrepreneurship and they need the right support. So what you will identify, what you will find in this e-guide that we've created is there's a lot of elements that, touch on the need on how to go about building your business. But outside of that, there's a lot of the how part as well. What we've seen is in the programs that we've even run in the past, where we solely focus on, young people's marketing or digital marketing skills upgrade, where we bring in industry experts that will come and assist in coaching and training them, or financial management, because a lot of startups, like I indicated, have the right ideas, but they fail because from a management point of view, a lot of the businesses don't know how. So every year in March, this is a campaign that we launch, and, to encourage young people to partake, download the e-guide, have a look at what we have to offer. We also have a competition running. We will be going live in the next coming few days. And the competition is also aimed at, pumping a bit of financial assistance, as well as some resources such as tools of trade. It could be your laptop and that, to help young business start up their businesses.
Yeah. You mentioned something very interesting earlier on about the economy of South Africa and how dire it is, which is leading people to start side hustling. However, another reality, Nokolo, is that there's also this phenomenon of starting a business because you are hungry, and not necessarily because you're trying to build a legacy or an empire. How do we start changing mindsets from a very young age to say, fine, you're selling ice lollies, or you're selling sweets, start thinking this way, and I beg your pardon, and start heading this way in terms of branding, like putting little stickers and having ingredients put there, whatever we can do. What have you discovered or seen with the number of young people that you have helped as All4Youth?
What we've realized is, most young people will start businesses because, like I said, of the financial need to, survive. But as you grow, you come to learn that there's a lot of young people in our country that have business solutions that are aimed at really helping to improve our economical landscapes. So meaning that there's a lot of young people that are sitting with brilliant ideas that we, if, as corporates come together to listen to and, and support, they can really help feed into solving some of the problems we have in our economy. I think, on your question around how do we help them to channel, and start thinking of their businesses as I'm building a legacy or I am solving a real life problem in this country as a solution, rather than, if I start making X amount of money, at least I'll be able to feed my family. Of course, the long run, that is the aim, right? That's why people start businesses. But we are trying to help channel young people to start thinking of go into the market and identify a gap or a need in terms of where we are. It could be, right now, as an example, there's a huge gap in the power industry. What are young people doing about identifying challenges and finding solutions that can help close off some of these gaps? There's a huge challenge around, kasi economy. How are we encouraging young people, economies to come up with ideas and build solutions that will feed into the economy? So programs such as the All4Youth, what you call this program, aims strictly at that. So as corporates, we've come together to say, instead of one company probably, running their own CSI program to try and empower young people, if we come together as industry, it holds more impact and more weight in us going out there and helping identify and support these young people. So I hope that answers your question.
It certainly does. But do please share with us about where people can access the e-guide and what they should be focusing on as soon as they get it.
All right, so we are literally on all social media pages as All4Youth SSA or All4Youth Sub-Saharan Africa. What you will find in our social media pages is, of course, outside of this particular opportunity for All4Hustlers, we also have a lot of other opportunity in the employment and employability space. So we do share a lot of content around programs and support that we are driving in that particular focus. Last month, we launched the mentorship program. This month, we are focusing on All4 mentorship. And when you go into the platforms, you'll also identify opportunities for some job opportunity that we've also just put out there.
Yeah.
So we encourage young people to go onto our social media pages and follow the page because, on a month-to-month basis, we usually would advertise new opportunities to support both entrepreneurs and young people that are potentially looking to get into the job market.
Yeah. As a matter of interest, how many entrepreneurs have you helped so far? Or would-be entrepreneurs for that matter?
Context, so out of context, last year we trained over 200 entrepreneurs in basic digital marketing skills and financial management. So this particular Kahoot was mainly focused on, people or young people that are currently running their own side hustles or running their businesses where they didn't have the right base. We brought in industry experts who are accredited in the space to actually help support them. So this is one initiative. Outside of that, we actually work with a lot of young people or young startups through the program that are either supporting us as service providers or that are, that we are working with very closely in helping mentor and build them to build their businesses. So, last year alone, the initiative alone supported over 63,000 young people through different trainings, through different support. Like I said, we have different categories where we focus on employment and employability, we focus on entrepreneurship. So in general, in totality, last year alone, we supported over 63,000 young people. We are obviously aiming, to touch more young people in the different initiatives that we drive. But the key focus for us is also, on entrepreneurship to help young people start creating, job business or opportunities in their communities. Because as we've seen, the job market is quite held up right now. So how are we as businesses encouraging up-and-coming entrepreneurs to start their own businesses, and we support them build those businesses to become successful and profitable enterprises.
Yeah. Nokolo Mnisi is the Senior Talent Acquisitions Management Partner. She's also a youth leader at Nestle Eastern Southern Africa. She's also part of the All4Youth campaign that kicks off. Nokolo, thank you so much for making time to speak to us. I hope that our viewers will be able to go to your social media pages and really find useful information that can help them build big and reputable businesses of the future that can absorb joblessness in the country and also feed into the economy. That is all I had for you from SME On Point for this week. Remember to support small businesses in your communities. Let's circulate those rands and cents in our communities. The Alfred Nzo District Municipality and in the Eastern Cape has invested 3 million rand towards the economic development of rural communities in Mbizana. Young people, mainly unemployed graduates, have come together and established a textile and clothing manufacturing cooperative. The plan is to enhance skills levels among rural-based SMMEs in the textile and clothing sector. SABC News reporter Nkululeko Nyembezi visited these young people and filed the report.
These young people have already spent many years without meaningful employment, despite their tertiary education. Now they are doing it for themselves and also to help others out of poverty. Their initiative is already showing results, with fewer young people leaving the area for the city's bright lights.
This program has changed my life a lot. For example, I was a person who just stay at home and go for playing soccer only, while I have a daughter, until I got someone who helped me about this program. Then I got my talent, so now I'm busy with it, sewing clothes, even school uniform, I can sew them.
We don't get employed because of our age, and there are no opportunities anymore. So having this program has benefited us, so that now we can employ other people. It has empowered us, and then we can feed our families. And now we're at a stage where we can go and open our own boutiques, our own shops, and just like sell ourselves.
The project is also growing, and participants are benefiting from their own production.
We are getting more interest from other people to want to come to this project and be part of the project. We are very comfortable in that, and we're going very far, and the skills I can see, they are going very far, and people are very enthusiastic in what they do. There are a lot of things that we're doing here, starting from the school uniform, working suits, everything. So we're trying to secure some off-take agreements with other departments that they come on board and assist us.
This initiative has also sparked other entrepreneurial ventures.
This program has helped me to establish my business. I started a business called Mixed Designs. I also do competitions on fashion shows. Last year I won a fashion show at Casino Wild Coast, and then it also qualified me for another fashion show for this year. So it has changed my life and gave me a purpose on what I would want to pursue in life.
The investment in the youth is seen as vital to improve the economic outlook of the province.
The aim of this program is just to support our people so that they support their families. That's a way of trying to assist our people. The other thing which is important is that we even invited a number of people, municipalities and sector departments, so that they support these people. Whenever there are things which can be done by them, they should be ordered from those people, so that what they are doing can make more money for them and for their families.
A call was also made for other government departments to prioritize youth development programs and small SMMEs to stimulate the economy. Nkululeko Nyembezi, SABC News, Mbizana.